Today's broadcast is brought to you by Ruffin Law Firm, taking care of your legal needs with a strong commitment to excellence. Make an appointment by calling the law office at 252-794-5232. You are listening to the Systenomics Podcast, a show about relationships, society, women's health, and surviving love and loss. I am your host, Joan Sharp McCullough. What's up, everyone? This is the second episode of Systenomics, and I am Joan McCullough, and I'm here today with my two co-hosts, Tanza Ruffin and Asada Buffalo. Ladies, say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, so the first thing, Asada, have you had your V8 today?
Yeah, I wanted to make it clear that second voice was Asada Buffalo.
It's just been a long day.
I mean, okay, I get that, but I do want to say that we're all in northeastern North Carolina. We are in a bit of a situation today with Hurricane Matthew, and there's a lot of flooding. Asada, how have you possibly had a long day and no one's at work?
Asada went to work.
I'm at work.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so moving on. Did you guys watch the debate last night?
I watched portions of it.
Right, I was flipping back between the debate and the game.
Well, I didn't watch it at all, but what I did see today on CNN Politics is they are talking about the way Donald Trump was just kind of, glaring at Hillary, from the back, from her back. And I was just like, oh my God, he looks like he is getting ready to knock her out. I mean, did y'all get that?
He was definitely hovering over her and looked a little weird.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted her to move to her side. I was really afraid for her for a minute.
It's interesting that you brought that up because the New York Times also in their opinion section had two articles, I think, today discussing that very thing, that how he seemed like he was looming over her in a very aggressive manner, how he seemed to be, he was belligerent, and nasty, but that just his physical presence seemed like he was trying to bully her or intimidate her on the stage. And I don't know if you noticed, but sometimes when she would be answering, he would come and stand close to her in a manner that it seemed aggressive, and that turned off both of the writers. They thought that was, well, in addition to everything else he had done last night, that was further evidence of his inability to lead and to act like a normal human being in public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but why is anybody surprised by that behavior from him with the track record he's had so far and his clearly sexist mentality? It seems like that's just kind of par for the course with him. But it didn't work because Hillary was not affected at all by his behavior.
Agreed. But I just want to know, where were the bodyguards? Was anybody on the edge of the stage, ready to go in if he swung? Because he really looks like he was going to do a haymaker on her.
Well, I'm sure the Secret Service is always standing by close to her.
But why do you have to be on that kind of alert at a presidential debate? Why is that even necessary? It was just kind of creepy to me. I don't know. But hey, moving on. I got to talk about this vegan lifestyle, this vegan life. Tanza, you are certainly a vegan. Asada, I'm gonna let you speak for yourself. Are you vegan all the way? No. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
So you're a social vegan?
No. Okay, how to describe it? So, to be vegan or to call yourself vegan is not just going purely vegetarian. Vegan is more of a lifestyle, to me, and So it was very difficult for me to even consider not only cutting out all meat, but cutting out fish and chicken and eggs and cheese and all those things. So I never would say that I was a pure vegetarian or whatever. I do try to eat 2 or 3 meals a week or days a week where I go purely vegetarian, but I don't, I do eat fish. I do eat chicken, things like that. I've really cut back or out or pork and beef, things like that.
And there's a distinction between vegan and vegetarian. Vegetarians do not, well, they do eat dairy. Vegans don't eat dairy, and along with no meat. But I prefer to call myself plant-based, more so than vegan.
Okay, well, tell us about what you do, what you eat. I've actually had some of your vegan dishes, and we've already talked about this. And it was some vegetables that you had prepared, and when I ate them, afterwards, I felt like my esophagus had been cleaned. Like,
I remember.
Yeah,
I can't remember what dish it was, but I remember.
It was some mixed vegetables. But explain to us what a day in the life of food for you is.
Well, to be honest, living in the area that we live in northeastern North Carolina, it's kind of difficult because you don't have a lot of options when you are out and about. And with our work, we eat on the go a lot. So I've had to be really conscious about my food choices since I decided to be vegan. And I find myself taking my food with me quite a bit because restaurants just don't have a lot of vegan options around here. So, for example, if I go to a local restaurant and get a veggie plate, more than likely, 95% of the time, that food is cooked in meat. So that would not really be plant-based. So I've had to experiment a lot with different dishes, find a lot of recipes online, and do a lot of things myself in order to try to be disciplined with my plant-based diet.
Well, you have also been able to shed some pounds, so I guess that, personally there are some benefits for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The reason I decided to do it was because I felt extremely unhealthy and was just very concerned about the direction that my life was headed in from a health perspective, from a mental perspective, because I felt so physically unhealthy. Mm-hmm. I started to feel mentally drained and very unhappy, and I wanted to do something to change that. And I'm not the type of person that can just kind of do things in increments. I have to really go at it 100% in order to succeed. So I knew that if I adopted the vegetarian lifestyle, I wouldn't succeed. Or if I said, well, I'm just going to have meat once a week, I wouldn't succeed. So I had to just completely cut all of those things out of my life. And before I decided to do it, I started reading about people that adopted the plant-based lifestyle to see how it changed their life. And one person in particular that really influenced me was a gentleman by the name of Rich Roll, who has become a triathlete, basically. And he was a lawyer in California, 40 pounds overweight, very unhappy, and just decided he needed to make a complete change. And he is just doing some wonderful things with his life since becoming plant-based.
Man, that is awesome. But I'm going to tell you, I just can't do it. I mean...
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
No. Listen, when I was pregnant, you guys are moms. When I was carrying my daughter, you know how some moms crave pickles and ice cream? I craved country link sausage, okay? Bacon. I need meat in my life. And I found something interesting I wanted to share with you. It's an article about a vegan mom. All right. You guys listening? Asada, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the headline. Vegan mom fed baby only nuts and fruit leaving him developmentally delayed. Okay? It says a Pennsylvania mother obsessed with veganism was arrested after allegedly restricting her baby's diet so severely he was developmentally delayed, according to reports. See what I'm talking about?
So I don't have that problem in my household because my children demand meat. I am plant-based and they totally support me in my decisions. However, they expect to have meat when they eat.
Well, good, because I don't want the babies to be, in trouble in your house.
I think too, if you're gonna have that type of if you're choosing to live a vegan lifestyle, that's certainly your decision. But an infant who can't make that decision, I feel like that's your responsibility to make sure that the baby gets whatever nutrients he or she needs. So, and then children.
Well, if the children need meat, why don't you need meat?
Well, what I'm saying is there are ways to get protein into your diet without consuming meat. There are ways to do that. You can do that without consuming meat. But all you have to do is just find a way to incorporate that protein. So she could have fed the child something else, peanut butter, tofu, beans. There's lots of things that you can incorporate protein into your diet. And so I feel like that was irresponsible. I don't know a lot of the facts of the situation. I did see a blurb about the article, but, just without knowing.
She's probably extreme, similar to people that overfeed their children and have children that are severely obese. I mean, I think that was just her.
Well, I mean, of course. I just still think she should have gave the baby a little bit of bacon or something, some eggs, anything.
True vegan finds that incredibly offensive. Right? They really find the consumption of meat offensive.
So all right.
Because it's not for some. It's about also animal rights. So to consume any sort of animal is, like Asada said, extremely offensive to them.
So let me say this disclaimer because, I'm making light of the situation because in our circle, I am the biggest omnivore in the group. And, I'm always joking. So if we're offending anyone out there, it's just comedy. Okay. Even to you too. It's just comedy because I feel like y'all might be getting a little like, look now. So,
my decision was really solely health related and pretty selfish for myself, and just trying to improve my lifestyle. And my children still consume meat because I started, being plant-based when they were, my teenager is now 17, so she was 16, and my other child was 7, and they are just not at a point where they completely want to give up meat, and I respect that.
I got you. Okay. Our last segment of today. As I told you all in the first episode, Tanza is also a blogger. Tanza is the author of Southern Mom,
boy, I know
JD.
Where we're headed.
Yes, we are. We have to go there.
Asada dialed in for this one.
So on Tanza's latest blog post, what was the title of your post, Tanza?
Oh God, you made me walk away from my computer, and I'm in a zone. No hoping allowed.
No hoping allowed. So
how could I forget?
I don't know that. How could I forget? So in this post, Tanza chronicles all the different advice, her friends have given her about how to...
My wonderful friends.
we want you to know, we don't feel too wonderful right now because you have really gone in and really misconstrued a lot. And so Asada and I are going to debunk some of the myths you have put out there about our advice. So, Asada, do you want to get started, or you want me to get
Yeah, I
started?
need to go first because I might have to sign off early. So, okay, I just would like to say that first of all, I don't even remember. I'm always the one that you always tag and say that I'm the sigher or the deep breather in the group. And so, what was my advice I was supposed to have given you? To dial back. That's what it was. That you always on 10.
That was one of your
right. And I need you to be on 2, and
right.
not to be talking about that change the world stuff when you first get
and
to
you
meet
sound like you said it as you speak on the podcast. Sound just like you.
But seriously, the only thing I meant by that is that sometimes I think that if you're a strong, aggressive Black woman, and you have to be if you're in your business for yourself or if you want to go anywhere professionally, sometimes I think that can kind of, and it's a delicate balance in that, because you want a man that will compliment you and that can appreciate the fact that you are strong and that you are self-sufficient. But then I think men sometimes need you to be, I don't know,
submissive,
soft and gentle,
stay in her
yes,
place.
Soft and gentle. That's the only thing I meant by that. When I was saying dial back, that's the only way I wanted you to take it. Not quite to the extreme that it got put out on the blog, but I understand it was designed to be a humorous blog, so I didn't take offense at it. Joan, you can tag team in now if you'd like.
Well, I want Tanza to elaborate a little bit on how she interpreted your advice, because the listeners can't read the blog unless they go there, and that's southernmomjd.com. And I hope they do go to southernmomjd.com to read this blog post at southernmomjd.com.
Right. So on that advice portion of the blog, basically what I said is, yes, my bestie says I'm usually on 10 and overpowering. According to her, it is frightening and will turn guys off. And I said, isn't that the point of dating, to get to know people and figure out if there's someone out there that can deal with my 10 personality? So I'm at 10 just because that's my personality. But it doesn't mean I'm not soft and gentle. I'm a 10 when I'm being soft and gentle. And when we talk, it's like, okay, Tanza, you're a lot to deal with. When you come into a room, it's like a bull in a china cabinet. You know, I'm going to need you to take it down a notch. And so I'm very conscious of how I present to people now, so that I don't appear overwhelming. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm still very overwhelming for the most part, but I'm conscious of it. Thanks to my dear friend who let me know I'm at 10.
Okay, so Asada feels like you're on 10, and I need to talk about the advice I gave you. Okay, are you listening?
Yes, definitely. Let's talk about that.
Now,
you talked about me being, hoping. Hoping is the key phrase when we talk about the advice you gave me.
But that's only a piece of the key. See, the advice I gave you was, don't go on the dating scene hoping that your date is going to be your husband. Don't sit there at the dinner table daydreaming about your wedding and your destination wedding and black sandy beaches and candles and throwing the bouquet. That's what I was telling you.
That's exactly what I said.
That is not what you just said.
Yes, I said, Tanza, Ayana Van Zandt said that too many women go into dating situations hoping.
I'm glad you
They're
pronounced her name.
They're going to have a future together. He's going to ask her to marry him.
Right.
And I said, okay, I get that to a degree. I think it's a little weird to go on your first date and have visions of you in a wedding gown walking toward the dude. That's totally weird.
And you went on to say, but, there's always a but.
Right.
But basically, what I hear you saying is I should waste my time and energy going out and getting to know someone while being hopeless the entire time. I really hope I don't like you. I really hope that we don't have to do this again. I really hope that you don't intellectually stimulate me. Come on, man. You know
really
that's
hope
not.
You don't make me laugh.
No, I say this to anyone. First date, first meeting someone. Don't just go out and have fun and don't put the farm on the line. Don't just put everything on the line and like this has got to be the one. Just chill, enjoy the movie, enjoy the walk that you go on or whatever it is you decide to do on this date. And don't make him feel like he's on a job interview. He's applying for a job. Now, I also said, please set your standards and have a mental checklist ready so I know I can't deal with this. I know I can't put up with this. And so early on what you can and cannot handle. And then, and he should be honest with himself about what he's willing to put up with, because what we do is for the sake, and I have said this 100 times, but for the sake of having a man, we ignore the things that we know we don't like. And they do the same thing to a degree, I think.
Right.
But we ignore the things that we know we don't like. And then once we get down the road, once the fairy tale part, the honeymoon part is over, once you stop thinking each other just cute as a button and you start getting on each other's nerves, the things that were there in the beginning that you didn't necessarily like, but for the sake of having somebody, you overlooked it, and now it's coming out. And now you're arguing, and now you're trying to change each other to be what it is that you want. That's what I'm saying. Just chill.
Yeah, but so that's two different things. Like, that's talking about having your standards, and I understand that. But honestly, when you initially begin dating somebody, they're not showing you who they really are, because you're going out, whether you intend to or not, your goal is to impress one another, unless it just goes really bad, really quick. And so you're on your best behavior.
And you're right. And you're right in knowing that you can't put him in a job interview type situation, going into it imagining that he's the one, because you're meeting the representative anyway.
Well, I agree to an extent. That, like I said in the blog, it is very weird to go on your first date and be like, yeah, I wear a size 10 wedding dress, and I'm going to have him down the aisle in 6 months. That's strange. And you should not be doing that. However, at my age, I don't really want to spend a lot of time just kind of exploring, the world and all my options as it relates to men and just be out there. So I want to kind of assess early on whether or not I'm compatible with somebody and whether or not I want to have them in my life in any way. Because if I don't, then I want to, in the whatever it is that we have going on, or put it in the right category. I want to assess, should this person just be my friend and make them my friend? Is this a person that has potential for us to have something meaningful down the road? Doesn't mean because I'm making that assessment that I'm trying to drag him down the aisle and get married.
All I'm saying is, all of those are questions that should definitely be asked. Just, is the first date the time
absolutely not. That's a little strange.
Okay.
Right. So what you trying to say, Joan, that I would do that?
I hope not. You would hear an earful from your friends if you did.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so, and then there were two. I don't know if you noticed, but like Asada just kind of dipped out on us. Okay. So anyway, we'll get that later. I got a question in the mailbag, Tanza. Did you know that?
Really?
Yes. I have been soliciting some people, offering, to answer questions according to us and what we think, on relationship issues. And here is the question. Okay. And we got to answer it because it sounds like, oh God. Okay. I'm just going to read it. And then you just,
and I reserve the right to be silent. Right?
If I ask this, you cannot be silent because our listeners are depending on us to help them.
Oh boy!
Here we go. Veronica asks, I like a guy and I'm considering doing the do soon. Is it acceptable? The do.
Okay. Okay, I'm listening.
Is it acceptable to perform oral sex on him the first time, or will he think I'm a slut?
Wow. So she said it's do, but then she begins talking about oral. Okay. I know. I'm sorry, what's the question?
That is the question. I guess, should she go all out the first time? Is it acceptable? Or will he think she's a slut?
Well, I guess it depends on the caliber of the man that she's dealing with. And I hope if she's at the point where she is ready to do the do, as she says, she has assessed whether or not she's dealing with a fairly mature man that can appreciate what she brings to the table sexually. And if he can, then he won't consider her a slut. Because I believe what two adults do in the bedroom and that they consent to is between them. And you only get those labels when you're dealing with individuals that are immature and you probably shouldn't have wasted your time with.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that depends on, like you said, the person or the man that you're with, and does he treat you like a slut already? I mean, do you feel like a slut when you're with him, or do you feel like his lady? I mean, so
right.
That depends on where you are in the relationship. Now, again, go back to that first date stuff. If it's the first date, because you said you like him, Veronica, and if this is the first date, yes, absolutely.
That was her first date.
She didn't say that. She said she likes the guy. So have they dated? Have they gone anywhere? Has he taken you to the movies? Has he bought you dinner? Has he cut your grass, changed your oil?
Does he have to do all
No,
of
he
that?
doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
No, he doesn't. No,
I
I was just saying what, or have you cooked for him? Like, where is the state of the relationship right now? And if you just like him and you are saying, okay, well, I like him. She didn't say I'm dating a guy. She said, I like him. She's going to do it. So it depends on a lot of factors. So I'd say,
so
depends on.
Are you saying that she has to be in love with him to go all out?
No, I'm not saying that. But if she's worried about, him
labeling her,
yeah, then she's probably not ready. It's probably not time yet. And she needs to make sure that they are at a point where she's comfortable with it. And he has to be the one to make her feel comfortable.
I agree. And no, she has to be comfortable. And it's not his responsibility, to make her feel comfortable.
Well, no, it's not.
No.
Well, if she doesn't know, then the answer, Veronica, is no. Don't do it yet. You're not ready.
Right. If you're asking us, don't do it. That's the answer.
On that note, we are going to sign off today. It's been a great show. I'm going to go out and see if we can find a Sada. Maybe she got swept off the road or something.
We love you. This is how you do us all the time.
Oh boy, classic. Okay, so on that note, I'm Joan McCullough, and this is my partner in crime here is who?
Ponderupton, Southern Mom JD, y'all.
And you can find this podcast on www.socialjug.com. That's SOCIALJUGG.com. And come back again real soon. Peace.